I love great conversations. Hi, my name is Angel Jones. Thank you for joining me on 12-Minute Convos, where I help you create a brand of your own unique real self. Listen in as I have conversations with amazing people from all over the world. Good night, Michelle Wong. How are you going on this wonderful, beautiful night?
Things are going very great this evening. I just got off the phone with my advisory board in regards to an upcoming event that we're having October 17th.
Oh, sweet. Oh, so this podcast will be live on the 12th of November. So we would have just
Okay,
missed this, right? But is it something that you will be having where we can access
sure. Yes, of
yeah,
course, of
tell us
course.
about it.
Well, I have a podcast called the Work Your Money Podcast, and basically we discuss different types of businesses. And one of my good friends, and she's in real estate, so am I, and she has this event that she does every year for the past 7, 8 years now, and it's called the Real Estate Subway Series. So basically, we got together and I basically told her that I wanted to cover and feature it on my show.
Sweet.
And through doing this, it will go on radio, on Bebox Radio, and will also go on TV through the Universe Network TV.
Oh, that's
So,
sweet.
yeah, so I'll be able to have the perks of both ends of radio and TV. So, Bebox Radio and Universe TV.
That's great. So you're definitely a great friend, right? Is that one of the talents that's the reason why we're connecting?
Well, the reason why we're connecting is I'm a people person. I've always been a people person. Being in this type of business of media and real estate, because I have a real estate background, it's all about connecting with people. And I love connecting with people on not just on a personal level, but also on um, on that level of connecting, being able to know where that person comes from, what the person is trying to do, what their journey is like, and that led me into the whole podcast.
That's
And from
fascinating.
there, it's just it's just unraveled that way. Basically, it just helps me unravel things. Every day, I'm always connecting with someone,
Yeah.
whether if it's on the phone or through text or even on the show. It's a level of being able to connect with the person and have a conversation with them. So it's something that I enjoy and love doing.
Who did you learn that from, Michelle?
Where did I learn that from? Actually, as a kid, I was very outgoing. I was always socializing with people. And then I guess when I was a teenager, I went through a phase where I was a little bit more reserved, a little bit more quiet. I still had my friends, but I was not as outgoing. And then once I got into college, that kind of turned around and I became more sociable, more outgoing, and it just kind of propelled from there because I got into retail and working in retail. I also had the opportunity to speak with clients and connect with clients, and I also was in the medical background for 12 years and being on the phone and talking to insurance adjusters and attorneys and patients and things like that, that also gave me the skill set of being able to go out and speak with people and be able to make those connections with them.
You've been talking for a while, right? Like, wow. You've been talking and connecting with people for a while. Um,
Yes.
and that does have some pain that goes with it. Why will you continue to repeat this skill, Michelle?
Why do I continue to repeat this skill? I think this is a skill that has been there for quite some time. I think it's also a way to perfect my skill per se. Every day you're always connecting with someone, but the connections are always going to be different. The outcome is always going to be different. Sometimes you might not have a great connection with someone, and you take that as a learning experience, and then the next person that you come across that might be similar in a similar situation, then you know how to go about it, and you can make a better connection with them.
Yeah, I love that. It's definitely an ongoing process, right? But you should never let that that communication that doesn't work as well be the deciding factor, right?
No, you can never let that be the deciding factor. When you're in a situation where you're going out and communicating with people, you obviously will not know what the outcome is. You can't make that prediction, but you can go in with a positive mindset of being able to have that connection with them and have a positive impact with them that would lead into, working with them, collaborating with them, doing a joint venture, or possibly partnering up with them on some type of project. But if it doesn't pan out that way, don't get discouraged, because that tends to happen. Sometimes that synergy is not there, that chemistry is not there with those people, and that's okay too. You take that as a learning experience, and you can always apply it to the next person that you encounter. So never close the door on that. Never become discouraged because of that. It's actually something that you can take away as a learning experience, and
Yeah.
you can always apply it to something else.
I love it. I love it. Michelle, tell me one other thing that you've done consistently over the last 3 years.
The thing that I've been doing for the past 3 years consistently has made my presence known in the public. And what I mean by that is I started connecting through social media, and also making my presence known in social media. We're in a day and age where if you're not consistent in having your presence out in social media, people will not be aware, and they won't know who you are. So I've been doing that religiously for the past 3 years. Not crazy amount like some certain people that they would put like 100 posting in a day, but I do put my presence out there. I would post a quote, or I would post someone else's quote that I have admiration for, or I would put up what I am doing in the course of a day. If I'm in a meeting or if I'm at an event, I'll post those things up. I would basically post up anything that would have a positive impact on someone else. But having my presence known, it was a key component of what I've done in the past 3 years, being consistent on that.
Amazing audience, we are live with Michelle Wong. You know, when I saw the name of your podcast and subscribed to it, it was the way like so you said Work Your Money podcast, right? But
Yes.
I heard, Work Your Money podcast. Like, is it that, do you say it like that? Or is it like, say Work Your Money podcast, please?
I would say this is how I do my intro. Hey guys, this is the Work Your Money podcast with host Michelle Wong.
Love it.
That's how I normally say it.
Love it, love it, love it. Well, Michelle, let's switch gears for a moment now, and let me invite you into my time machine that is surrounded with beautiful, warm, blue Caribbean water. Michelle, what is your earliest childhood memory?
My earliest childhood memory, huh? Okay. Well, we're going to take that Caribbean factor because my family is from the Caribbean. They're from the Dominican Republic.
Sweet.
And I can recall as a child going and visiting family in the Caribbean, in the Dominican Republic, and I can remember the smell. There's a distinct smell when you go into the Caribbean. The smell of the sea.
Yeah, the salt water.
The salt water, exactly. And I can also recall that time stands still when you're in the Caribbean.
Wow.
It's, to me anyway, I just feel like it just stays in time. It doesn't, the day can go really slow, but at the same token, it's like you can really enjoy that moment. And I remember going to visit family because my on my mother's side, I have multiple cousins, and I remember going from house to house and visiting family and spending the time with them and getting together and playing with my cousins and going around the neighborhood and just talking to the neighbors and everything being so carefree, the environment being very friendly. Those are the things that I can remember as a kid going into.
How old do you think you were?
I think that the youngest that I can recall all of this was maybe 5, when I was 5 or 6.
So why do you think this memory is so clear?
The memory is so clear because even though it's something that I recall as a child, it still resonates with me even as an adult. Even when I go back as an adult to visit family, it's always the same familiar presence, the same familiar smell, the sound, the feelings that come into place. It's very calm when you're there.
Interesting. And if we fast forward to when you were 12 years old, what was your favorite song?
My favorite song when I was 12. That's very interesting. I have to think back a little bit. That was 1993. What was playing in 1993? See, now you're making me feel old here. I'm trying to think of what, like, I remember listening to Janet Jackson at that time. I remember listening to her brother Michael. Actual songs I can't remember. Okay. I'll be honest with you. Cool. But I remember like listening to them. I know that during that time, that's where a lot of hip hop music came into place, but I wasn't really listening to that at that time. It was cool. More pop music, Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson. I can't remember any of the people that were around that time.
It's cool. It's cool. All right, Michelle. Well, we have arrived at our destination, but before we get off of this time machine, there's a small declaration form. So it's yes or no. We're going to run pretty quickly here, Michelle. Michelle, have you chosen someone to pass on your skills to?
Yes.
Are you married?
No.
Do you have children?
No.
Do you believe in God?
Yes, I do.
Do you have an inner circle of friends?
Yes.
Do you watch TV for more than 3 hours a day?
No.
How about 3 hours a week?
No.
What about screen time, the phone and the computer? Is it more than 8 or less than 8 hours a day?
Less than 8 hours.
After 1001 conversations in 2016, Michelle, I came up with a workbook that's called Yours, and it stands for Your Own Unique Real Self, YOURS. And also connected to that is Your Own Unique Real Statement. If you had to share with us your own unique real statement, your mission, if you would, what would that be?
My mission is to be able to go out and help other people reach their highest potential, be their better self.
I love it. Michelle Wong, this was a great pleasure. Before you leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Well, I would love to share with everyone that no matter how hard or how difficult an obstacle is, do not give up and keep moving, because there is light at the end of the tunnel. You're always going to succeed. You just have to stick by it.
Michelle Wong, thank you for what is inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. Stay tuned for more from our advertisers.
Diabetes is a mountain pandemic. It's a disease that's not acute but chronic. Similar to this rhyming method, I have simplified the definition, the signs and symptoms, and the complications of diabetes for both adults and children in my books, Poems for Patients, A Focus on Diabetes, and The ABCs of Diabetes for Children. These books are available on Amazon.com, and for more information, you can visit my website, poemsbyaj.com. That's poemsbyaj.com.